hear you now the tale of the ancient Greek mystic Proboscis, who, through magical means, picked a superpower-endowed bogey from his crusty old nose hole and flicked it out into the ether, where it has passed down its enchanted mucus for 1,000 generations, by way of, well, whatever was being inhaled in that particular generation. And see you now how it has bestowed its power upon this seemingly ordinary bottle of nasal spray, that, when snorted into the stuffy sinus cavities of one Byron Dill, turns him into something extraordinary. Big Nose, Defender of Smell. Wearing a stretchable cape and form-fitting long johns that make him look like a relief pitcher for the Oakland A's circa 1973. Big Nose, along with his sidekick, a semi-conscious nasal-originating tour guide.
That's Snot, for sure.
Travel the highways and skyways of the land on a never-ending mission to right that which is wrong, to develop understanding, and to fight anyone who commits illegal acts upon those in our society who are trying to keep their noses clean.
And that, sadly, is a list that keeps getting longer, old chum.
You're telling me. But with the latest entry for the notorious PND, I'm running out of pages here in the big thick book of roguey bogies.
Well, at least he's safely locked away now in Crumberton Maximum Asylum. That airtight hold full of dehumidifiers should keep him dried out for a good long while.
And I don't know about the security in that place. Look at Commandant Cold. Every fall he seems to get out of his medicated padded cell, even with a 3-inch thick sneeze guard.
Well, come on, he's nothing compared to
The furious 5 senses of doom.
Now they were one cruel and unusual crew. Each one of them separate is bad enough, but when they band together, they're almost unstoppable. Especially
inappropriate touch.
Hey buddy, you sure you don't want to show me on the doll where he, poked you?
Maybe later. But right now, something's coming in over the wire. Says here there's been a rash of nose theft lately in the ritzy area of town.
Nose theft?
Seems someone's been creeping into people's bedrooms late at night and removing their schnozolas quietly and cleanly. The purloined smellers are then carefully replaced with ornamental doorknobs of equal size and shape. By the time the Porschmos notice, the nose thief is long gone.
Now what kind of a crazy person would commit such a strange and yet oddly appropriate crime for a dude with my particular, set of powers?
Crazy? Crazy like Red Fox. In the medical community, his name is Dr. Emile Lupe. But to friends and enemies, and friends of enemies, he's known as Mad Plastic Surgeon. And believe you me, once he gets a load of your king-size Tonka, he's sure to be gunning for you.
Gunning? What do you mean by gunning? Oh, man.
What's this? Is our hero well and truly doomed?
Hello?
Will he fall fast,
Velocity.
die young,
Office of Dental Records?
and leave a hard-to-identify corpse?
I'm sending you a picture! Now!
Find out in our next exciting issue. Or, if you can't wait, here's a first look at a sneak peek of the teaser for a preview that gives away all the best parts. A hero is saved
Stretchable cape!
and then killed. A semi-conscience cries out in terror and is suddenly silenced.
Dr. Lupe, why?
A villain gloats with glee
At last, the god knows of Proboscis.
and reveals his ultimate endgame
Now I'll finally have the perfect accent piece for my nefarious collection.
until a last desperate act changes everything. What happens when a man disappears up his own nose hole? You don't want to know. Or maybe you do. Find out in the issue after next, and see things you cannot unsee. The sniffing of magic markers while looking at this presentation is recommended but not endorsed. And then, be here for the next issue after the next issue, when Big Nose finally emerges from the nostril, reborn as B-Stroke N5000. An undead clone of the original Big Nose, with bionic nasal components and a real neat ponytail.
Nine-jar nose.
Why the sudden radical change? In the next issue, we find out when a mentally enhanced Snot steals a graft of skin off this cybernetic zombie in order to unclone the clone and hopefully revive and revitalize Big Nose Classic. But will he succeed? You'll have to tune in to our massive crossover event, coming in biannual installments on the vernal equinox over the next decade. Zombie Robot Secret Civil Cloning Wars in Crisis on infinite interdimensional planes, featuring a bevy of Big Noses, pitted in a never-ending and hopefully financially lucrative battle to see who will emerge as the one true nasal-centric hero of the century. Will it be the lady, the baby, the giant, the puppy, the plaything, the porno parody, the sweet, the spicy, the ranch flavor, the Jurassic, the Vlasic, or the Classic? You'll need a scorecard to keep track of them all, so be sure to subscribe to the Recap Show, where a random panel of so-called experts sit around and retell the story you just saw, sorting it out for you in excruciating detail. Followed soon after by the in-depth analysis of the excruciating details, courtesy of reaction videos to the Recap Show. And don't forget to download the podcasts that break down the reaction videos at 1/4 speed, 1 minute at a time, to get invaluable observations and wild conjectures as to the future of the Big Nose franchise. A franchise that will become so intricately complex that following the main story will require some outside reading, and eating, and bleeding. But don't you fret if you miss any of them, because all these ancillary items will soon be collected in a limited edition chromium embossed box set, perfect for display as an accent piece for even the most nefarious collector's room. So set a reminder and be sure to live stream the unboxing of the box set by a millionaire toddler riding the boogie flume at the newly opened Big Nose attraction, coming soon to a theme park near you. And then, God willing, that will be it. The absolute ultimate and final word of the canon that is the holy scripture of the Big Nose saga. Nothing more could possibly be said. Until the release of the prequel series, Crumberton, which tells the exciting tale of the city planning commissioner who helped draw up the schematics that will be used to build the town that Big Nose will eventually protect, featuring our embryonic hero as a gleam in his father's pants, and your favorite supervillains as kids will finally reveal how they got so darned evil. Then, strap yourselves in for the spin-off from that offshoot, the bottling plant at the corner of 14th Avenue and Rickett Street. Thrill to the step-by-step process of how the bottle of nasal spray that one day will give Big Nose his powers was manufactured and shipped for local delivery. In a truck that ironically and coincidentally and incredibly conveniently will become the instrument of our hero's untimely death. You'd think that would be the end, but you'd be wrong, bucko, because launching sometime mid-century, we start the whole damn thing over again with The Big Nose, a rebooted reimagining for the next generation, starring a much younger, buffer, broodier Big Nose, who wears an unnecessarily detailed rubber outfit that leaves nothing to the imagination and makes rude noises when he walks. The original Big Nose will be forced out of retirement as his wise old mentor. And of course, Snot returns as a CG particle cloud that makes witty remarks.
Who farted?
The villains will be more villainous. The action, more intense. The story's pretty much the same. So whatever happens, no matter what occurs, do not die or find other outside interests before you see it all. Okay? Please? Huh?
You see, proboscis? You see the damage that gets done when you go flicking your boogies around all willy-nilly?
Oh, okay then.